Molly Qerim here in New York City. Of course, though, joined by my guys, the Hall of Famer, Shannon Sharpe. Where you at? Shannon, I hope you had a wonderful rest of the weekend. And let's just tell America, we had quite a time at Howard University on Friday.
It was unbelievable, Molly. It was great. The turnout was unbelievable. The kids were electric. And to see Stephen A. and I and yourself and the kids, hopefully they get an opportunity to see what they can be, even coming from an HBCU. Because sometimes, a lot of times, people think, well, you went to an HBCU, you can accomplish. We've got a Madam Vice President from Howard, Stephen A., myself, Michael Strahan went to HBCUs. Hey, you can get to anywhere from an HBCU. So I had a great time at Howard. It's my first time being there, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Yeah, unbelievable crowd and such a wonderful hospitality as well. So we certainly enjoyed ourselves, and we had a heck of a slate of games yesterday. Stephen A. will be with us in moments. Guys, let's dive right into it. So Lamar Jackson accounted for 2 scores, while Derrick Henry ran for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Ravens jumped out to an early lead on the Cowboys and held on to win 28-25. Dallas is facing some questions moving forward. Here's Dak after the loss.
Us as players, we've got to be more professional and understand our jobs, understand where we're supposed to be, and do that time and time again and keep our focus.
Right now, we got people just trying to be Superman. People just got to own their jobs, bro. We don't need everyone to be Superman. We don't need no Supermans at all. We just need 11 guys playing together.
How do you not get people to play Superman, like you said, or try to make those super heroic plays?
Bro, I have no idea. Like, I'm going to be real, like I said, like, I really believe we're being tested.
You know, it's all frustrating, you know, having a game plan but not following the game plan. It's just small things. So, you know, once we get out of playing Little League football and get back to playing pro football, we'll be all right.
All right, Stephen A. with us now. S.A., good morning. And I know you were watching this one closely, sir. Tell me this, do you like Dak and the other players calling out the team?
Yeah, I do. I love it. I love it. It's accountability. You know, it's a situation where you're America's team. You stink. Your defense is horrid. You've been horrid. And as a result of that, you're 1-2 on the season. And we see that the season opener against the Cleveland Browns was a smokescreen. There's no way to look at this. There's no other way to look at this. The fact of the matter is the Dallas Cowboys can't stop a cold when it comes to doing things defensively. They can't stop the run. You can play bully ball against them, Shay, and that's what you can do to take them out. Now, I understand that there's a lot of people that are miserable about this, okay? Let me be the first to say the obvious. Let me call myself today, we're going to call me Captain Obvious. I am not miserable at all. I'm quite happy. I mean, listen, I tried to tell, listen, I sat down with Jerry, as y'all saw me when I sat down with Jerry Jones weeks ago on my podcast. It's like, yo, man, you know, you didn't go after Derrick Henry. Yeah, we couldn't afford him. You know, you waited forever to sign Dak Prescott. We signed him when we needed to sign him. You did the same thing with, or rather, he was about to sign Dak Prescott. You know, we waited forever. CeeDee Lamb. Okay, well, you did that. In the end, here's the bottom line. I had been screaming to the high heavens from day one. You go and you get Derrick Henry. Why do you get Derrick Henry? You get Derrick Henry to make sure, A, you can run the football, B, you can protect Dak Prescott, and C, you can help the defense out because they won't be on the field long enough to get ran over. The likelihood is that you could be, you know, you could be front runners because that's what you're experts in. And unfortunately, that hasn't been the case with the Dallas Cowboys, and as a result, we see what we have seen. They can't stop the run. You can play bully ball against them, and they're pointing fingers because that's what happens when you get beat up. When you get beat up, you point fingers, and that's what's happening to them right now, Shay.
Well, that's why I'm going to disagree with you. I don't like it. So what did they do last week? When the Saints came to town and did exactly what the Ravens did, but did it to them worse. So who called out who then? I believe Dak Prescott was talking about CeeDee Lamb being professional at all times because I don't know why CeeDee got upset. You were the one that got the ball punched out. You the one that took points off the board early. You the one that started this precipitous drop in the production of the offense because they were about to go in and at bare minimum get a field goal. They probably could have scored a touchdown, and you got the ball punched out. And then you started moping all day. This is why, Stephen A., I was a firm believer you don't show your quarterback up. Because once he started moping, and then what happened? He started dropping everything in his vicinity. He blaming Dak. Bruh, you dropped the ball. And then he got upset because Dak underthrew him. CeeDee, even if you catch a touchdown, they're going to bring it back because you had a penalty. Bruh, you need to be professional. Dak is going out of his way to try to get you the ball. He understands that in order for this offense to be productive in the passing game, he needs to be at it. You need to be at your absolute best. He's going to feed you the ball. Bro, you need to calm down. Your behavior yesterday was unacceptable because while you around there moping, dropping passes, Dak ain't do all that. Dak ain't kicking the dirt. Dak is not throwing his hands up in there. Second of all, Stephen A., the only thing that I'm mad about is that Lamar Jackson didn't get 100 yards. I told you they was going to run for at least 250, and Lamar Jackson was going to have 100. Well, he had 87. And had they probably got that onside a possession earlier, he probably would have got that. They do not have enough bricks in their defensive line back pocket to hold up against the run. Yeah, you're going to look at Dak and say, oh, they came back. But all I know, it was 28-6, and the offense nor the defense did anything to call home about through the first 3 quarters of that ball game. And it's still out. This is what you can do against the Cowboys. You can line up and you can bully them. You can move their men against their will. Stephen A. also told you something on Friday also. I said, Stephen A., if you want to maximize Derrick Henry, put him in the I formation. Put a fullback in front of him and say, son, go pick your hole. He's not a zone read back. I understand the concerns that the Ravens have. Lamar Jackson works best out of the zone read situation. He likes to back offset, either to the left or to the right of him. That's the way Lamar Jackson works at his best. Derrick Henry is an old school 1970s, 80s I back. You put him 8 yards deep. You can put a fullback in front of him. Hell, Baltimore got like 25 of them on the roster, fullbacks, and you toss it to him. And you say, son, pick a hole. Or you put him in the eye alone, and you see what he's doing. 25 for $151. Over 274 yards. That's embarrassing. Do you know what it's like, Stephen A., to run the ball? You know they're going to run it. I know they're going to run it. And everybody at AT&T Stadium know they're going to run it. And ain't a damn thing you can do about it.
Well, here's my problem with you, Shay. I mean, I don't like the fact that you just pointing the finger at CeeDee Lamb. First of all, you're speculating that he was talking about CeeDee Lamb. You don't know definitively. You said you think he was talking about CeeDee Lamb. You don't know. I understand that CeeDee Lamb was on the sideline being a bit petulant and all. But what the hell are they supposed to do? I mean, at some point in time, somebody got to be called out. Listen, 83-29. That's a 54-point difference. That's what the Dallas Cowboys have been outscored in the first half in the last 3 games. The home playoff loss to Green Bay and the last 2 home games to start this, or the first 2 home games to start this season, okay? Do you know that? Do you know that they've trailed by at least 15 points in each of their last 3 losses, their home losses? Do you know that over the last 2 games, you got 2 quarterback hits in 2 games and 1 sack? That's what you got if you the Dallas Cowboys. And the world knows everybody and their grandmama can run on you right now. So what I'm looking at it, and I'm saying whether it's CeeDee, whether it's Micah, whether it's DeMarcus Lawrence, or whatever, whoever you want to point to, somebody got to say something. And I was proud of Dak. For once, he was calling out something. He's usually going up there, Mr. Cookie Cutter himself. He could easily be a character on Sesame Street, for crying out loud, or Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Always got the right, appropriate, decent, PC things to say. That's always the case when it comes to Dak Prescott. But at some point in time, you got to light a fire under people. You got to call it like you see it. You got to let the world know, yo, I'm not feeling what's going on right here, right now. We're looking very, very bad. We're getting beat up. Somebody needs to say something about it, so I'm going to say something about it. You got to be one of those players. And to me, the fact that all of them seem to be talking and chirping and fighting yesterday, I mean, I'm seeing more fight from them on the sidelines and in post-game press conferences than I'm seeing from them on the field, with the exception of the fourth quarter, of course. That's what I'm talking about. I think you need that. I got no problems with it. That's the way it needs to go sometimes.
Hold on. Give me those names that you just mentioned. You said the defensive guys. Now, you go back and talk about the Green Bay, the New Orleans, and yesterday. Now, the guys that you mentioned on the defensive side of football, tell me how many tackles for losses, tell me how many sacks, tell me how many QB hits, and ask me again, why the hell are they talking? Stop talking. That's your problem. You're talking and you're not playing. You're talking your asses off. It's too much talking, not enough playing. All that, that's fine and good. We got to get them. Come on, guys, we're better than that. No, you're not. You exactly what your record says you are. Your defense is your rush defense is exactly what your stat says it is. You're not better than that. And that's the problem. We have been in Auburn. Oh, look how much talent they got on that side of the football. Whoa, whoa, whoa. At the end of the day, I don't care how much talent you have. What is their home record in the last 3 games? Look how many points they give up. Look how many rush yards they give up. All that talking. How many team meetings are you going to call? How many pep rallies are you going to have? At the end of the day, it comes down. My level versus your level in each phase of the game. And if we win those, we win the game, Stephen A.
Well, but listen, let's not confuse them. This ain't Howard University. This is one of the pep rallies at the HBCU or something. This is Dallas Cowboys. They ain't had no damn pep rallies. They ain't had no reason to have no damn pep rallies, okay? So let's get that out the way first. That's number one. Number two, when you're talking about the defense, all right, let's understand what we expect from them. We know they're athletic. We know they've got speed. But we also know that you can punch them in the mouth. They're front runners. They want you playing from behind, so you got to drop back to pass so they can send cats like Lawrence and Mike and those boys after you. But when you get leads on them, when you're running the football on them, they cannot do that. So now we come to Jerry Jones because we got to hold him accountable, okay? You knew when you were in a 3-4 last year, you were getting beat up and punched around, all right? When Quinn was your defensive coordinator, you got Zimmer up in there. Y'all switched to a 4-3. Everybody's talking about it's going to be even more effective for a guy like Micah Parsons to get to the quarterback. What they didn't take into account was the absence of girth and muscle and that you had in the middle of your defense. What did Dan Orlovsky say about them last week? They have no spine. You can run right down the middle on the Dallas Cowboys all day, every day. You knew what Derrick Henry coming into the house. That's why I said he was the most important player last week coming into this game, because I knew, you're going to give him the ball to run it right down their damn throats. And that's exactly what transpired. In the end, if you don't have the personnel, you got to figure out something. They don't have the personnel to stop the run, Shay. They got the personnel to do a lot of other things. They don't have, you know this better than me. They do not have the personnel to stop the run. They don't.
Shannon,
They don't.
final word here.
No. But Molly, Stephen A.
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember when they had Rod Marinelli. They ran Rod Marinelli out of town. I remember when they had Mike Nolan. They got rid of Mike Nolan after a year. And then when they lost the last game, they blamed DQ. At some point in time, if you notice, they constantly blame the defensive coordinators and not the product that's on the field. Now, Jerry Jones wants all the credit, and nobody can do it better than me. Well, you put that level, everybody that's there is there because of Jerry Jones.
I ain't letting them off the hook.
If it's not working, let's blame Jerry Jones. But when I mean by pep rally, Stephen A., there's only so many fiery speeches you can give before guys tune you out, because they're looking around like, bro, you ain't got no tackles. You ain't got no sacks. You ain't got no tackle for losses. So why you up in my face bumping your gums? You need to do your job, and then I do my job, and then we win on the job.
Okay. Yep. Don't talk about it, be about it. I mean, you kind of gave me a nice little fiery speech there, Shannon. I appreciate it. Shannon, I need a yes or no answer here because Damian Woody's sitting next to me and we got to transition. Did my Giants have a shot on Thursday?
Against who?
Against the Cowboys.
Who they playing?
The Cowboys. Giants played the Cowboys.
Nah, the Cowboys don't like y'all. They might beat y'all by 14.